Shaked.
That's the sound from a short video recorded 2 weeks ago by some bystanders in a parking lot in Fredericton, New Brunswick, as they filmed an Israeli teenager being jumped from behind and then beaten up during the lunch hour by another student from her high school.
This can't be within the religion guidelines, right?
The victim is 14-year-old Sept Tsurkan. She moved to New Brunswick with her family a year and a half ago from Israel and started in grade 9 at Leo Hayes High School last fall, just weeks before October 7th. In the video, you see her attacker wearing a pink hoodie that obscures her face and, according to Sept, also hides her hijab. The assault lasts for a minute. She throws Sept to the ground and beats and punches her in the head many times. Just moments before, although the video doesn't show it, Sept says she and the same girl had an argument and scuffled near the school. At this point, Sept thought that would be the end of things and she'd be left alone. She kept walking towards a convenience store with her boyfriend. When the more serious incident ended, her attacker and several teen boys who were with her and an older man got into a gray car and drove off. Sept was left with 2 black eyes, multiple cuts, scratches, and bruises, and possibly a concussion. After a few days, she went back to school, where staff gave her a set of safety instructions to follow. Use the teacher's washroom, don't walk alone, and never leave the building during the day. Sept says the attacker was suspended for 5 days, although the school board won't confirm it, but they did say the violent incident happened and that appropriate measures were taken. Members of Fredericton's Jewish community reached out to me last week, frustrated that nobody was taking this family's case seriously, as they're convinced this was no ordinary high school teenage drama, but rather a direct result of anti-Semitism over what's happening in Gaza after Israel declared war on Hamas after October 7th.
We are here in Canada. It doesn't matter what's going on there. We're here. We are teenagers. We should just have fun. It's not our fault what's going on.
I'm Ellen Besner, and this is what Jewish Canada sounds like for Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. Welcome to the CJN Daily, a podcast of the Canadian Jewish News.
I can't date women right now because I'm too busy calling myself a piece of shit.
I had a dysfunctional Jewish mother and I had a dysfunctional Native mother.
I had 25 full years of utter struggle and failure.
I started to realize the absurdity of my inability to let go of this monster of guilt.
Sounds like fun, doesn't it? Hi, I'm Ralph Benrig. I'm the host of Not That Kind of Rabbi, where we look at people's spiritual journeys and take a little time for their self-reflection, and maybe yours. You can get it all at the cjn.ca/NTKR or wherever you get your podcasts.
The cuts and bruises on Sept Tsurkan's face have mostly faded since the attack, although you can still see the marks under her eyes. Despite everything, she wants to finish out the rest of this year at Leo Hayes, where she still has a lot of friends. Even though she admits it's been hard after October 7th, she's one of the handful of Israeli students in the whole building. She still wears her Star of David, and her parents fly an Israeli flag off their balcony. Sept says she's been the target of anti-Israel sentiment from several corners of the school. Earlier in the year, a student in her English as a second language class allegedly ripped up her handmade Israeli flags, not once, but twice. Then, she says, the girl who just beat her up spent months giving her snide looks in the hallways and bathroom, until it all escalated into physical violence last month. On today's episode of the CJN Daily, we have Sept and her parents Michal and Eli. Michal's enrolled in English lessons, so either Sept or I will translate from the Hebrew. And Sept, welcome to the CJN Daily. It's nice to meet you.
Hello.
And so your family came to Canada because, for what reason?
My dad, he wants to work here. He found a job here. And it just, my parents want us to live a better life than in Israel.
Mm-hmm. You came a year and a half ago, you said, before October 7th, so not because of October 7th.
No. אנחנו
We came because we wanted a better life for our children, Michal is saying, a better education, to learn English, to see the world, and to live without safe rooms, without fear. It was a big dream. And then you went to school here last year, I guess, Shaked. Tell me about your school. What grade are you in now?
Right now I'm in grade 9. Last year I was in middle school in grade 8 here. And there's no any people from Israel or Jewish people in my school that I know. I know just one right now. He's in my high school, but there's like one kid in the whole school.
So do you want to take me back to what happened when October 7th happened, being the Israelis in Fredericton? How was that for you?
It was kind of scary because I already know some people that like my best friend, she's a Muslim girl. She's from Syria. She's my best friend here. And like we were kind of scared because I already moved to high school and there was like a bigger community of Muslim people that I know that they're like pro-Palestinians and they support them. And like my dad tried to talk to the school and ask them like what can they do, because like in high school it's big deal. It's not like middle school that they are still young. They're like in high school they're like grade 12 that they support Palestine, and I'm just in grade 9 and I'm new in this school and I'm the only one. So I was really careful at first, but then like.
So when you say you were careful, what does that mean? What does that look like? What didn't you do? What did you do?
We had activity in the class that we were supposed to put. It's like EAL class. So there's a lot of people from a lot of countries, from Russia, from Ukraine, from Africa, from South America, a lot of people from all over the world. Mm-hmm. And we had activity to draw our flags and the name of it and something that like from our culture. So I put my flag on the wall like everyone else. And a few days after, someone just came and took my flag off. I told it to the principal and the teachers, and they found out who was the one who ripped it off, and they suspend him. And then we put it again. I put it again on the wall. I put another one, and they rip it again. And I think this one they didn't find. I think it was the same one who ripped it again, and then I put it again, and I think it's still there.
What else happened to you in the school since then, since October 7th or before?
Not that much, because just like my friend, she's a Muslim and she has like some Muslim friend, and they start like looking at her like, why are you walking with this Israeli girl? But like she didn't really care. I know there was another girl, the girl that I had the fight with. She just started looking at me weird in the hallways when we passed by, and I saw her a few times pointing at me and this kind of stuff.
Did you feel unsafe before this latest event, which we'll talk about?
Yeah, I was kind of scared, but not that much because my friend was with me and she's also Muslim and she know them, and like they won't do anything to me and her, I think.
You had a bit of a bodyguard.
Yeah, kind of.
Take me back to what happened to you that very day where you said you had physical assault. Tell me what happened.
I'll tell you from the beginning.
Yeah.
So 2 months ago, that girl she kept looking at me and pointing at me at school. She came up to me and she was like, she just want to know what's going on. Back then, she was pretty aggressive when she was talking to me. Like I didn't pay too much attention for it. I just like try to talk to her like as students, as people. I tried to talk to her to understand what's going on. She was really mad at me because she heard me saying, I never said it, but she said she heard someone told her that I said one day somewhere in the washroom that I hope all the children in Gaza will die. It was after October 7th. And I was like, I've never said it. And I don't know where she got this information from and who told her. But she was really mad at me. So we were talking about this kind of stuff for an hour. And it was fine. We were like agreeing on stuff. Then we just just said, okay, we're not gonna do anything anymore. We're not gonna look at each other anymore like this. And I even said sorry about what I didn't even say. I didn't want her to be like mad at me. I didn't want her to cause trouble with me because I don't like to fight with people. Then we were okay. Just we went to class and it was fine. So after our conversation, she just kept doing the same thing. She kept looking at me. She kept pointing at me at school. She kept saying stuff about me. So 2 weeks ago at this day, I came up to her again and I asked, like, what's wrong? Why are you continue to do the same thing? And then she started saying, no, you started. And she was really, really aggressive in this point because
This was right in the classroom or in the hallway, or where was this? Lunchroom?
No, in school, in the hallway.
What happened next?
Then she started yelling at me. She started get close. So I called my boyfriend to come, and he just stood up between us because she came really close. She was like in front of me, like my forehead, like really, really close. So he just came and stood between us. So she started yelling. She tried to push him to get me. And so I just tried to go to the other hallway. I tried to like just go away from there. And then the principal came. They told us just stay away from each other. And we were like, okay. I just continue just walking around the school. And then I decided I want to go to get a drink from the gas station beside my school. It's about 15-minute walk from my school. I went there with my boyfriend and I saw them outside. I saw them just walking around the school and we went on the trail. Then I saw her coming and then like I tried to walk on the other side of the road because I didn't want anything to happen. And she started yelling at me and Layem, Imalai. You know what it means?
No.
It's like she said, I'll find you in the washroom. Come here and come. Like I want turn around when I'm talking to you. I will do this and this and this to you. I will kill you. And then there was one guy. He came with his car. And he tried to hit us with his car. Okay. And he also like, and we just jumped to the side that he won't hit us. Then, so we just found a way to go away from there. And then she just stood in front of me, hold my arms, my elbows, and then we started the first fight. And then she's a hijabi girl. Like I just tried to get her away from me because it's like the only way she can like go for a second to decide to fix it and then like leave me alone and I can just try to go back to school. And then the whole time I just say, leave me alone. I don't want that. Like, don't touch me. Don't start anything. Like, just leave me alone. I don't want any fight. I don't want anything to happen. Then we kept walking a little bit, like just 2 minutes. There was already a lot of people around us. Cause the Canadians just call each other to come. This fight. So there was a lot of people, and there was a few girls, and she just went there and took one of the girls' hoodie to put on her hijab, to put the hood on her hijab. Then she just came and she jumped on me from my back, and she started to punch me, and like the rest you can see in the video. Maybe my mom can send you the video.
And in the meantime, nobody called the police. Nobody tried to help you except for your.
Then after the fight, someone called the police, and a lot like there was maybe 2 cars. My parents came. My dad took the picture of all the injuries on my face, on my shoulder, on my elbow, and then we went to the school to talk to them, to the principal.
Mommy, Michal, when you listen, את שומעת את זה, איך את מרגישה, מה את חושבת when you're thinking about this now, listening to it again?
קשה מאוד לשמוע את זה כל פעם מחדש.
It's very hard. I know it's also hard for Shaked to recount it again. It requires a lot of strength because of the blows that she suffered. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was like boxing blows. And I took her to the clinic a few days later because her eyes were swollen. Now the bruises around her eyes are all different colors. Why did you decide you want the Canadians who are listening to know about what happened to you? What do you want done?
I want, like, I don't want anything like this to happen again because it's just terrible. And that girl, she in the few last days, when she came back from the suspension after 5 days, I think, she just kept looking at me, and like I just want her, and like I want the school to understand that it's not okay, because they're saying it was my fault that I went outside and I should have not go outside, and so they are blaming me about what happened, the school. And I want the school to understand that it was not my fault, because they don't do too much. And I don't know, she has a lot of friends in school, and she has a lot more older guys. They can do a lot of stuff.
How surprised are you about this behavior, that this happened to you here in Canada?
Like, it's not my fault what's happening right now in Gaza.
And why do you want to go back there? Why not China? Is there no other school to go to?
No, I have friends there, and I just saw, like, there's months and a half, barely months and a half to the end of the year, and I love the school. I don't want to move because of one girl.
You think this is about a personal beef, like, and I'm not making a joke, but Drake and like a rap beef, or this is about Israel-Palestine? What do you feel in your heart?
And I think it's more about I'm from Israel, and she knows just me that I'm from Israel, and it's like I feel like she took it as a revenge for what's going on. She's really pro-Palestinian, and I never said anything about like what's going on. I never said anything bad about it. I never tried to, I don't know.
Even if you want to.
Yeah.
And what about the school? It's all finished now? Like, they're not giving you protection, safety, bodyguards?
Bodyguards, they can't. What can they do?
They're making it as if it has nothing to do with anti-Semitism, she's saying, as if it was just run-of-the-mill high school disputes. But Shaked is not political, and she's being made out to be the representative of Israel here. Even if Shaked had made a comment, there's no excuse for what happened to her. The school doesn't want problems. They want everything to be kept quiet. Maybe they're afraid of the larger Arab population who could cause problems. They don't want us to talk about it. They want us to drop it, but we won't stay quiet. We can't. We don't accept it. Shaked's father, Eli Tsurkan, is a former Israeli police officer in Rosh Pina, but he's been working as a truck driver since the family moved to Canada in November of 2022. Since the attack, he's been scouring the area for evidence that could help the police investigation, which he feels isn't happening quickly enough. Eli Tsurkan spoke to me from his rig he was driving between Detroit and Chicago.
I'm looking for a solution. I'm not looking for punishment. I'm not looking for, to be famous, to be interviewed or on TV. I'm not such a guy. I want a solution. That's it. Practical solution that my girl and other students can study in safe environment, really secured environment. That if something happens, and it happens that the students fight, it's okay. We also were young, but it was a simple fight. It wasn't like, it hadn't deep roots like here, because it's very difficult for Canadian person to understand it.
We understand, believe me.
No, but not all of people like they.
No, Jewish people understand.
Yeah, that's exactly. So I do not expect from people to understand it, and I'm kind of jealous of these people because they're not familiar with this violence. They're not familiar with these sirens, bombing, shooting. They are living their life like all people should live. You see, like all people should live peacefully and help each other, go to visit each other, to do barbecue, to go to, hiking, riding, fishing, to do sports, I don't know. That's why I'm not trying to be offensive, to say that Canadians do not understand. I say that they're not familiar with that. And this is another problem. But in this case, the school, complete silence. And the police, It has been very long time since it happened, and I try to explain that this it's not a simple fight. There's some problem about racism, and in general, it's antisemitic attack, not just a simple fight between students. If it was, I wouldn't be so worried.
And that's what Jewish Canada sounds like for this episode of the CJN Daily. Stay tuned for more on this, as the Tsurkans have now spoken with their Member of Parliament, and to B'nai B'rith, and to Sija, who is helping the family with legal advice on what to do next. Meanwhile, Shaked and her mother were scheduled to meet with Fredericton police on Tuesday to give investigators a formal statement about what happened. Fredericton's Jewish community says the incident should be deemed an anti-Semitic hate crime by both the school and the police. Eitan Kranat of the Skule Israel Synagogue says the experience has been disheartening for the family, who are newcomers to our country, and also upsetting for the small Jewish community in Fredericton, who just a few months ago, on January 27th, the International Day for Holocaust Remembrance, woke up to discover some windows of their synagogue were smashed in an act of vandalism. The police have closed their investigation into that incident. Officials say it's due to lack of a suspect, but they would reopen the case if new evidence emerges. The CJN Daily is produced by Zachary Judah Kaufman. Our executive producer is Michael Freeman. Our music is by Dov Beck-Levine. Thanks for listening to the CJN Daily.
Y'all remember that joke from Airplane? The old lady asked for some light reading.
How about this leaflet, famous Jewish sports legends?
But in actuality, that's changing. Jews are crushing it in sports around the world, and we are here to celebrate them.
Sandy Koufax gets his 10th strikeout.
Zach Hyman, his first career hat trick. 41 points for Diddy Avdija. It's Sue Bird's building.
I'm Gabe.
And I'm Jamie.
We love Jews and we love sports, but most of all, we love kvelling over Jews in sports.
Together we host Menschwarmers, the longest running Jewish sports podcast in the world. Listen and subscribe at thecjn.ca and wherever you find your podcasts.